Hello everyone. The important part of picking the beets in part 1 is getting them ready so that we can eat them. So tonight it's time to get them, fix them up to eat them. The Egyptian flats are a weird looking beet. They're so old that they don't really give you one top. They give you a whole bunch of tops. And they're a little flat, which makes it look like they do much better in my heavy clay soil, where it's really hard to get something large and round growing in the ground. Where these guys, as you can see, were about half suspended out of the ground. Even though I kept hilling them up, they would keep growing upward. So we'll see how they look. They're probably going to be a little more work to clean up, since it's not just a straight clip the top off like it is with a regular beet. But we've got a whole lot more extra beet, so we're going to see. So one of the interesting things on fresh beets is that, like other fresh sweet potatoes or regular potatoes, they're very soft. So you got to be careful when you cut them that you don't actually cut your finger off. Wow, that's a nice looking. That one cut out pretty nice.
It wasn't.
So the top is going to head for the compost pile. I'm sure there's other things we could do with it, but we're going to compost it. And then the bottom is going to get cooked, and then we'll move on to make the dish we're after.
Okay, yeah, the beet will go into the Instapot to partially cook and to make it so that the skin is easy to slip off. And you'll be amazed at how easily it does slip off after it's been in the Instapot. It gets hot, and then put it in some ice water and it slips off. So here's the next one.
Here's another nice big one. So we don't mess them up with the cooking, we're going to do the large ones tonight, and we'll do the smaller ones another day. Because the time it takes to cook the large ones, the small ones will be way overdone. So, just to make it easier for us. Easier for the moron out on the grill. These will get partially cooked in the Instapot, just to save us a whole lot of time. But they're going to end up getting out onto the grill.
Okay.
And that's got them cut. She's wearing gloves. Remember, this is beets that historically are like cranberries. They were used for dyeing material, so be aware that they will stain anything they can get near. Now to move on to the Instapot stage.
Okay, we're going to put the beets in the Instapot now. And if you don't know what an Instapot is, it's just an electric pressure cooker. It's really been the thing the last couple of years, and I love mine. I use it a couple times a week. So I'm going to put a cup and a half of water in here. This is just tap water. And it goes in the bottom. And then I've put the rack that came with it in there, and that's going to hold my beets. So now I'm just going to pile the beets in there. I don't think there's any special way that you need to put them in there. Just sort of pile them in there and don't overfill it. And this won't overfill it. Alright, so we got them in there. We're going to put the lid on. And the beeping noises are just telling you that the lid's on there, and now it's telling you it's closed. And then we're going to put the vent to closed. And then on the front, I'm going to do manual high pressure for 15 minutes. So I'm going to reduce this to 15 and then let it go. It will come up to pressure, seal off, and cook them for 15 minutes and then beep and let me know when it's all done. There you go.
So we'll be back in 15 minutes.
We have, 15 minutes have gone by and the Instapot told me it was done. So what I'm going to do, I've let it just be stationary for about 5 minutes. Now I'm going to release the pressure, which means I'm going to push this button to venting. But I'm also, so that it doesn't blow steam all over the cabinet, I'm going to cover it with a towel. And that will go on until this little button here goes down, and that means the pressure's all off and I can open the top. So this is how it sounds and looks.
And you get an overwhelming strong smell of beets. When it's sweet potatoes, it smells overwhelmingly strong of sweet potato. Whatever it is you're cooking, when you let that air out, it's a strong smell of whatever that is. So be prepared. It can be a little shocking if you're not ready for it.
Okay, the Instapot is done venting. You can see there's no steam coming out of there, and this little button here is all the way down. So that means that all the pressure has been released from the pressure cooker, and that I can take this lid off. So I'm gonna, and it makes noise. I'm gonna put the lid over here, and those look absolutely gorgeous.
And they smell even better.
Okay, now we're going to put these, we're going to shock these and put them in some ice water to slip their skins off. And this will be a real easy process once they cool down. This is just like if you've ever canned tomatoes or done gotten the skins off tomatoes or peaches or any fruit or vegetable that has a skin on them, where you just boil them for a couple of minutes and put them in ice water. This is essentially what you're doing with these two. I might not have enough room for this big mamma jamma. These are just cooked to crisp tender, hopefully. And then we're going to layer them with some other ingredients in a 9 by 13 pan and put it out in the grill. So we'll slip the skins off of these in a minute. Okay, we put the beets in the ice water. You can see that it's turned the water pretty red. Now we're going to slip the skins off, and it's pretty easy. I'm going to run some water, but it gets kind of messy. But you can see what I'm doing here, and the skin and everything comes right off. The little roots that were still on here, everything. I mean, that's just as smooth can be. These are still a little warm. But everything just slips off. And to me, this is way easier than peeling.
And you're not losing any beets.
You're not losing.
Shaving them with a knife.
So. And when these come right out of the garden, they are just so much easier to do everything to. Cut them, they cook more quickly. But store-bought beets will do this too. Don't think you can't do them with store-bought. You have to have garden beets. I've done them with store-bought beets too. And now is the time to buy beets. So the skins are slipping off real easily.
It's even easier than the tomatoes. And they're really just dropping off.
Yep, they are. And everything, I was amazed the first time I did this, that it was everything, every little bump and bruise and little thing.
That variety of beet was kind of gnarly looking to start with, but it
And
looks
it's
fine
not,
at this stage.
Yeah, everything
Looks
comes
great.
off.
It's just nice and big.
It's really, you get the most beet for your efforts, which is, I think is good. Okay, this is the last little one, and it feels a little softer to me. And then the big mamma jamma here, we're still just peeling it right off. All the little bitty hair roots on the end. And that brown area that was at the top here, it's all beet. Okay. These are ready to slice up and put in our pan, put in our casserole to make it really good. Okay, we're going to take our crisp tender beets, beautiful beets that came out of the Instapot, and I'm going to slice them, and I'm going to put them in this pan. It's an aluminum pan, and I've put parchment paper in there. You don't have to do that, but I'm kind of lazy, and it's easy cleanup. So I've sprayed it with a little bit of olive oil spray, and this recipe is called beet gratin with horseradish. It's going to use some of the fresh horseradish that we got out of the garden too and processed. This is the horseradish root that we ground up in the food processor and put in a mixture of water and vinegar. So we're going to use some of that, and it's a really delicious recipe, and it's different. So these are really easy to cut. What we're going to do is cut them in half and then just slice these little half moon slices like this and put them in the pan. I'm going to do a single layer of beets, and then we'll mix up the sauce, which is real easy. Really do need to wear gloves with this because you'll have purplish pink fingers and fingernails and fingertips for a couple of days. Okay. All right, to make our sauce, the recipe calls for 3/4 of a cup of whipping cream. I'll pour that in the bowl. 3/4 of a cup of sour cream or creme fraiche. This is actually sour cream. This is going to be like your potatoes au gratin, only with beets. 3 cloves of garlic minced, and 1/3 of a cup of horseradish. You can use prepared horseradish like you get in the grocery store that they have in the either in the produce section or in the dairy section. But we have really liked our horseradish out of the garden. So I'm just stirring that around, trying to get the lumps out and splashing it all over the counter. Okay, one thing I did forget is that we want to salt and pepper that. The beets that are in the pan. This is just sea salt. You can use whatever sea salt you like. Okay. Then we're going to pour half of the sauce over this layer. I guess I'm going to have more than 2 layers, huh? You think? Alright, let's pour. Pour and spread. Alright, and we're just going to keep slicing the beets and pouring the sauce on top.
And here's the dish all ready to go. I've got the grill started. We're going to go for somewhere around 375 for about 20 minutes if you're doing it in an oven. If you're doing it in the grill, get it somewhere around 375 and we'll go till it's delicious. So I'll show you when the grill's ready. Alright, they've been sitting a few minutes getting ready while I get the grill ready. Alright, we put them on the grill. The grill's running about 400, so it's a little hot. I turned it down, so I'll get it down somewhere around 375. And we'll check this. It needs to cook for about 15-20 minutes. Well, I've had this at 400 degrees for 30 minutes, and it's finally starting to bubble up in the middle, so it's done. And the beets are browning, so it took longer because it's 3 layers, so a little higher heat, a little longer time. Time to move this inside and let the eating begin. What is this stuff called?
This is beet gratin with horseradish.
From the Mother Earth News
Guide to Cooking with Herbs.
So that's a book. Good recipes. This is more than you think it would be. It's really, really good. So it's scoop time, eat time. And then we're going to turn the camera off because there's no point in you seeing it dribbling down in front of my shirt. Believe me, the horseradish and the beets and the cream sauce is absolutely phenomenal. So give beets a try and get your horseradish going. It's good for you. Thank you for watching. It's been Grow and Eat This. We grew it and now we're going to eat it.